Welcome to Oyate Today. Oyate means the people in Lakota, brought to you by Skull Construction.
Hi, welcome to Oyate Today. I am your host, Richie Richards. Oyate Today is produced by Tim and Jackie Gallego. Tim is an enrolled member of the Oglala Sioux tribe. Our guest tonight is Miss Bobbie Jarvinen and Miss Shary Haag of the Community Conversations, Healing, and Transformers team. Thank you both for being here tonight.
Thanks for having us.
Awesome, thank you. I'm excited for this conversation. I'm really pleased and happy to learn about the work that you're doing with the Community Conversations, specifically the Healing and Transformers team. So, first of all, could you tell us a little bit about yourself, Bobbie Jean, for those members of our community who are not aware of who you are?
My name is Bobbie Jarvinen. I'm originally from Minnesota, but have lived in Rapid City for 35 years. Came here with the Air Force, worked for regional health, and involved in the community.
Sure. And for you?
I grew up in Custer, so I'm originally from the Black Hills. Left in '75 for North Dakota, went to college up there, and moved back down to the hills in '98, and love being back.
Sure. We're happy to have both of you in Rapid City, so thank you. Bobbie Jean, could you tell us a little bit about the Community Conversations, how it formed, why it formed, I guess how long it's been in existence here in Rapid City?
So back in February 2015, there were a couple of events that culminated in the result of Rapid City Community Conversations. One was the death of a young man in an incident involving law enforcement, and the other was the spilling of the beer at the hockey game at the Rushmore Plaza Civic Center. And some organizers decided we just needed an opportunity to come together, bring people from all different walks of life to start having conversations about how to improve the relationships and the incidents and respond to some of those things just to get the community involved. So they started monthly conversations, facilitated to just talk about different activities and ways that more people could come and become involved in what was going on.
Sure. Now this might be an obvious question, but what is the power of bringing together these different voices and having these open discussions about different subjects? What is the power behind having these conversations?
Well, I think the power is that people get an opportunity to hear in a comfortable situation from people that maybe they're not very familiar with, people who they don't talk to on a regular basis. So we have a lot of diverse backgrounds, various cultural representations, various economic representations, and these are people that maybe would never have another opportunity to get together and talk. And so by having these conversations in a facilitated format, then people get an opportunity to speak, but more importantly, people also get an opportunity to listen. And then we get some more awareness about each other. And then when we're out on the street, it makes it a lot more easier to have those conversations without a facilitated opportunity.
Sure. You bring up a good point as far as the listening component of a conversation. It's important to hear what's being said. So I'm sure these conversations, that's a major part of what you're doing there. So have you actually seen through the process over the last few years then that this community conversations have been taking place? Have you seen, I guess, transitions in certain members that have attended these then?
I have seen transitions in members that have attended. Some people have come in with maybe a harder attitude, who have really adopted some of the work that the conversation is trying to do. In myself, it's brought about a transformation in that it reminded me of my upbringing and where I should be working. And there's a lot of relationship building with people that I never thought I would be friends with, or different people in the group that are now able to go out and just we have really difficult conversations that I would have never taken the opportunity to have without this group coming together.
Sure. Now I understand that the Community Conversations, the larger group, broke up into 4 subgroups originally, and now there's 3 groups. Can you tell us about those 3 groups?
Sure. There's 3 groups remaining. The first one being Mitakuye-Owassen. Mitakuye-Owassen is a group that concentrates on environmental issues, everything from the Keystone Pipeline to highway cleanup days to Earth Day coming up. And then there are different activities that relate to We have solstice events. So anything, they've been working on community gardens. We planted an orchard recently. So there's opportunities, anything related we are all related. We're all part of this earth. We all have to be able to live together. And so that's what Mitake Oasen is involved in. Then we have a group called Wasuyapi. Wasuyapi is a group that is working on working with law enforcement, working with people who are impacted by law enforcement and in the areas of bringing change about how law enforcement communicates with its constituents, and then also restorative justice pieces, so talking circles where people have an opportunity to come and talk about how things are happening for them. And again, that listening ear, having somebody really listen to their story and then being advocates for them if in any way that we can.
Sure, and then the third group is?
And then the third group is Healers and Transformers, which is the group that Shary and I are part of. And we were brought together. We also incorporate that fourth group that ended on education. And our group is chartered, if you will, with taking the opportunity to bring healing to the community and then also deal with healthcare incidents. Both Shary and I work for regional health, and so we want to take the opportunity to bring healthcare into the work that we're doing and just making a better place for everyone. And there's just transforming the attitudes of people that are involved. So just the general attitude in Rapid City and just bringing healing to, there's a lot of historical trauma. There's a lot of opportunity for people to be able to take some time to heal and helping us who maybe aren't victim of historical trauma, but ways to communicate in a way so that we're not endorsing it or moving forward from that.
Sure. Now, Ms. Haag, as a facilitator for the Healers and Transformers, could you talk a little bit about your involvement with them then?
I got involved with Healers and Transformers when it started about 3 years ago. And what really led me to want to be involved in the group is the name itself, Healers and Transformers.
Sure.
Healing people or the community, transforming the ways maybe people think. So I thought it would be a great opportunity to be involved with something that I felt passionate about, and that's making change. So Healers and Transformers gave us the opportunity to do education in different ways. That includes a luncheon that we have monthly, and we have that at the hospital, and we bring different speakers in. In the past, we've had speakers on kinship, we've had speakers on historical trauma. So we're kind of gearing a lot of that history and bringing that awareness to a lot of the staff at the hospital, as well as community members who are also always invited. And one of the big things that we do for the Healers and Transformers, we organize the four-directional 5K run, and that'll be coming up June 2nd. And that's one of the big organizations that we have going on.
Oftentimes when we have these discussions about race or racism or racial issues in a community, there tends to be some reluctance, some resistance. But once you break past that barrier, you do see this period of healing in a person, or this period of transforming in a person. And so have you personally been witness to something like that?
I have. And also, I actually find some of that healing in myself as well.
Sure.
Because being raised Native, of course, and having to go through some situations growing up, and being able to meet people who have endured the same and had the same experience, and being involved with this, with the Healers and Transformers, has really given me the opportunity to meet those people, and for all of us to get together, educate, to heal, and to even get a better understanding. And for me, it's been a better understanding of why people think the way they do and why they hold on to the racism.
Sure.
And it's just getting that education, having that experience, and moving forward in a positive direction. And so I have seen a lot of healing.
This is a great forum for our community. We're going to take a break, but when we get back, we're going to learn a little bit more about community conversations, the Healers and Transformers team, and the Community Unity Day coming up soon. So we'll be back after a word from our sponsors.
Our future is our children. Their hope is you. Hi, Jeff Bridges here. Help our children grow strong for the next 7 generations. 20% of Rapid City school children are Native American. Many come from difficult situations, experiencing hopelessness and despair. Rural America Initiatives brings hope and opportunity, one dream at a time, one child at a time, one family at a time. Please, make a tax-deductible contribution. Be a part of the dream.
You can't predict life's ups and downs. You just give it all you've got to stay on top. But it's easier with a partner like Security First Bank. Since 1898, we've been riding with you through the country's biggest ups and downs. And this is where we'll stay. Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on. Member FDIC.
Our school has great students and dedicated teachers, but we need our community volunteers to help us to provide a broader view of the many ways a good education can point to a bright future.
Did someone say volunteer? Our team at Black Hills is here to help. In fact, we sponsor events and projects, and our employees volunteer for organizations throughout the Black Hills, including partnering with schools to help students learn more about life outside the classroom. Extracurricular, extra fun.
It's really difficult in any medical clinic when we see patients injured in car wrecks who cannot afford the medical treatment that they need. So many of them had an insurance claim that they settled on their own without taking this into consideration. Of course, the insurance company won't open their claim after it's been settled, so they cannot get the medical care necessary to recover from their injuries. Before settling a claim, it would be wise to contact the insurance claim experts at Moore Faust Injury Law Group.
Hi, welcome back to Oyate Today. I am your host, Richie Richards. Once again, our guest tonight is Bobbie Jean Jarvinen and Ms. Shary Haag of the Community Conversations, Healers, and Transformers team. Thank you both for being here tonight once again.
Thank you.
Okay. Ms. Haag, before the break, we were talking about your involvement in the Healers and Transformers team and your involvement with bringing that to not only regional hospital, but your own life as well. So, could you talk to us a little bit about the founding of the Community Unity Day and what it entails?
When we first organized Healers and Transformers, we had a huge group that met. We have people from the community as well as from regional hospital. And one of the focus was to what can we do for people to gather, to just be together, to learn about each other, to do something common. So we had a community member who was brought up the idea of a 4-directional 5K run. And 5K runs are people like to show up for those. I think they're a great way, and with the 4 directions, we thought that fit in real well. So we made it the 5D4K Community Unity, bringing people together in our community.
And so when we talk about 4 directions, is that 4 directions converging on one spot then? And if so, where do they come from? And where do they end up, I guess?
Well, that was, the first year we had the 4-directional run, we were able to do the 4 directions and come in together into one. But because of the way the city has their restrictions, now we are only limited to walk a couple directions.
Sure. And then where do they end at, and where's the kind of the coming together point?
We start out at Memorial Park. They walk out and they return.
Oh, that's
Memorial
nice.
Park.
That's really nice.
And once they return to Memorial Park, we have quite a bit of things going on. We have entertainment, we have artisans, we have honorees. We honor people in our community who have done work in our community. We also honor a business who have worked very hard in our community on behalf of stopping the racism. And we also have a luncheon.
Sure. And how many people or families or community members participate in this walk, or over the past couple of years have participated?
In 2016, we had about 320 some participants. Last year it was about 380 some. So it's growing.
That is growing.
This year we're very excited. I think we've had a great turnout in the past. We're expecting an even better turnout this year.
And so what's the date of this year's event then?
June 2nd, Saturday.
June 2nd, Saturday. At what
Yes.
time does it start?
8 o'clock is registration. The walk starts at 9. People who are interested can register online. Just Rapid City Communications, rapidcitycommunityconversations.org.
Sure.
And they can pre-register there.
That's awesome. And so, Mrs. Jarvinen, what is the importance or what is the significance of having a walk? Why are we walking? What does that mean for, I guess, this town and the city, and what the Community Conversations hopes to do?
Well, we talked about a lot of different kinds of events that we could have, and one of the things we wanted to do was make sure it was an event that brought people together. So we're healers and transformers, so we wanted to do something that would put it kind of in that vein. And so we decided on a walk along with the run, so people could have an opportunity to walk together, to converse together. The gathering at Memorial Park that follows the race is just different groups of people coming together. We have tables set out all over the place, so different groups sit down at tables, so they just start having conversations with people maybe they would never have an opportunity with. Or you're walking on the bike path, and you can walk with people you don't know, and you can just talk about whatever and get to know people you don't really maybe know in the past.
Sure. Now, is there any, I guess, need for volunteership then? Is there any need for volunteers in the community to come out and help set up tables or any of the other needs then for the event?
Sure, we're always looking for volunteers. If people want to volunteer and come out the morning of when we start setting things up, or the day in the afternoon when we start cleaning things up. We also have opportunities for people to sponsor. This is a free event. Everybody who registers gets a t-shirt. We provide a lunch for everybody who attends. And so we're always looking for sponsors as well. And all of that information is available out on the website at rcconversations.org.
So I understand that there's going to be t-shirts for the event, and is that part of the fundraiser then, Ms. Haag?
Yes.
Okay, and that's part of the registration process? And
Yes.
is it a free event for registration and
Yes.
walking?
Yes.
Other than possible donations?
People can make a donation if they want to. When they register, there's an opportunity online at the registration site if you want to make a donation towards the event to help defray the costs that is associated with that. But basically the only reason we register people is so we can get your t-shirt size, so we make sure we have sizes for everyone that's going to be there.
Sure. And is there a registration deadline then?
People have to be registered by May 31st in order to make sure that we have everything set up for you to go. If you don't have the opportunity to register before then, we do allow people to register the morning of. So if you come at 8 o'clock and you register, we do have extra t-shirts available, but then you're limited in what size you get and that sort of thing.
So the sooner the better then?
The sooner the better.
Of course.
The sooner you can get out there and register, the better it is.
Of course. And so, Ms. Haag, could you give a little bit of details about this year's event then? Who's going to be possibly presenting, or who's going to be involved as far as other community members then?
All the Rapid City Community Conversations, all the subgroups will be involved. But as far as like honorees or something, or the honorees that are being honored,
Sure.
Sorry, we're not sure about that yet because we're still looking for those people to submit those requests.
Will there be a keynote speaker or a speaker?
We do have speakers. I'm not quite sure who's speaking this year.
Okay.
We have some of the things worked out, but not all of them are definite yet.
Okay. Then, so in the past, who are some of the people that have presented and who have spoken at this event then?
So we've had, the mayor came last year.
Nice.
The mayor writes a proclamation for us both years. And then he was able to attend last year and read that proclamation himself. Chief Jegaris was not able to attend last year, but his deputy was able to come and participate and represent the Rapid City Police Department.
Was that the Assistant Chief Don Hedrick?
Don Hedrick, that's right.
Awesome.
Yes, thank you. Assistant Chief Don Hedrick. He was able to come last year and speak on behalf of law enforcement. And then we also usually have a fire department representative. So the city is very supportive of us. The fire department helps out with our medics for the day, and then the police department help us with our planning and organizing, and of course the city of Rapid City is very helpful in making the park available to us and all of that sort of thing.
What a great event for our community. Thank you both for your involvement in that. We're going to take a break, but when we get back, we'll learn a little bit more about the community conversations and the Healers and Transformers team.
Native American children make up 20% of our school system in Rapid City. Rural America Initiatives, we have a capital campaign going on to build a first-class structure for these children. They've survived for 25 years in modular structures. It's time to bring them together to see this become a dream for these children come true.
Please consider donating to Rural American Initiatives and all they have to offer, from Head Start to high school, in empowering American Indian youth in succeeding in their goals.
We are not so different, you and I. We may be from different places, but the sun that greets me in the morning, the sun that warms the hills, is the same sun that greets you. We are all connected. We are all family. Mitakuye Oyase.
Native Sun News has been voted the best weekly newspaper in its class for 2015 by the South Dakota and North Dakota Newspaper Associations. You can find a copy of the Native Sun News at many businesses and vending machines in Rapid City and the surrounding area, and on all 9 reservations. We publish every Wednesday, so advertisers and subscribers can reach our diverse readership by calling 605-721-1266. The Native Sun News covers the other side of the story.
The aftermath from the recent hurricanes and tropical storms have devastated thousands of communities. You can help the millions of Americans who are affected by these storms. Show your support today. Go to our app or blackhillsfox.com/hurricane relief and make a donation today.
Hi, welcome back to Oyate Today. Once again, our guest tonight is Miss Bobbie Jean Jarvinen and Miss Shary Haag. This has been a very nice conversation, so I'm appreciating all the information that you're sharing with our community tonight and the work you're doing. So, Ms. Jarvinen, could you tell us about the importance of community involvement when it comes to community conversations and bringing the community together? Why is it so important for community members who are not involved to possibly come and get involved in what community conversations is doing?
Well, I think the important thing is because we have to have representation from everyone. If you want to be part of making a change in Rapid City, and I have children who were raised here and I have grandchildren who live here, and this community needs to all come together. And so it's important that everyone has an opportunity to voice their concerns, their issues, but it's also an opportunity where people can come together and become one. Rapid City, we want people to be able to, it's like a neighborhood. You know, you get to know the people in your neighborhood. Well, Rapid City should be a neighborhood. You should be able to go and talk to whoever you want to, and having people come from all over the city so that we're not divided, that there's an opportunity for us to come together.
Why is it important for you to be involved in? What have you brought to the table when it comes to community conversations?
Well, I have a lot of history growing up. Grew up in Custer. You know, there's a lot of barriers and a lot of things that we kind of have to endure in our childhood and brings us into adulthood. But the one thing I was taught as well by my grandfather is you were always proud of who you were, no matter what. So throughout my life, I've always been proud to be Native American. And the opportunity arose when Rapid City Community Conversations started coming into Rapid City, and then the opportunity to be involved with Healers and Transformers, I felt was something that I think I've been looking for all my life, is to be involved with others who felt the same way I did and who wanted that change and who wanted to educate people and have them understand what it was like to be Lakota and to understand the culture better so we can be respected as a people and as a culture. So it's very personal for me, and the people that I've met and the education that we've had even helped me, even growing up. Lakota, you have those experiences and you have those values, but to share that with others and to be able to educate is the goal. And to be able to do that in a community, to bring the community together and get that education out to the people, and even in the workplace, hospitals as well. You know, the caregivers need to understand other cultures in order to be able to properly care for the patients that they serve.
Sure. And so in the past 3 years, with your involvement with Community Conversations as a facilitator for Healers and Transformers, have you seen an impact of your work since this has begun, or since your involvement has begun?
I have. We've got more community involvement. People are understanding more. Non-natives are understanding more. The ones that I've met love the education. We're very, I guess, very surprised at some of the things that they've learned and very appreciative of what we've presented.
Sure. Okay, Ms. Jarvinen, you brought up an interesting point earlier about we are one. We are one people here in Rapid City. Could you tell us one last time when the event is and when are the meetings with the Healers and Transformers team taking place?
Okay, the 4D 5K Community Unity Day is Saturday, June 2nd at Memorial Park. And then the Healing and Transformation team meets twice a month. We meet the first Wednesday of the month at Regional Health, and usually we bring in someone to help us learn something new, so we have a guest speaker on those days. And then the third Wednesday of each month, we kind of have a business meeting, but a conversation with just the members of the group, see how things are going, what they've learned that month, what's going on.
Sure. Ms. Jarvinen, I want to thank you very much for being here tonight. Ms. Haag, I want to thank you very much for your work you're doing. I'm very proud of both of you. I'm very proud to have both of you on our show tonight. I want to thank our sponsors, our producers. I want to thank Prairie Edge for hosting our show tonight. And I want to thank you for making Oyate today a part of your night.
You've been watching Oyate Today, brought to you by Skull Construction.